Hello and welcome to my channel. I can see the lighting is a little bit bright. Maybe this is better. Like I said, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do a fall makeup look. It's just going to be a shop my stash kind of video. I don't have anything new, but I wanted to play with some stuff that is appropriate for the season. Before we get started, I'll introduce myself. I'm Cecile, I'm 28 years old, I'm from the Netherlands. I'm currently doing the Research Master Literary Studies, but I have a profound fondness for makeup, and I also like to do art. So that's what my channel is all about, and if you like what you hear, then please consider subscribing, because I'm still almost at 300 subscribers. There were a couple of new ones in the last video, so yes, I highly recommend subscribing, and then let's go into the video. I'm figuring out my lighting situation because it's getting so much darker so much earlier. So it's now 6:30 and I already need 2 lights. I used to only need 1 light. So I hope this is okay. I see I have a shadow here. I really don't know what to do about that. Maybe I'll need a 3rd light really. I can arrange that. I'm trying to make my channel a little bit better, so I'm trying to work on my editing skills, and maybe I'll introduce a microphone and an extra light in the next couple of months. Who knows? If you have any suggestions, please let me know what you think my channel would profit from the most. And now let's finally get into the makeup. I figured the most fall thing to do is a brown smoky eye. I've already done a couple of those off camera just for fun. But I figured I'd like to play with my Caramel Brown Obsessions palette from Huda Beauty again. This is what it looks like. I feel like this will make for the most beautiful fall leaves kinda eye look. There is this darker shimmer shade that I'm going to put all over the lid, and then I'm going to blend it out into orange. I think it will be beautiful, so let's go for that. I'm going to use my Glam Light eyeshadow primer. I have this in the shade Classic Vanilla. It's funny because a couple of weeks ago I was very opposed to the idea of fall in general, and especially fall makeup, because it really wasn't fall yet. Until yesterday it was technically still summer, and since we really haven't had much of a summer here, I was a little bit annoyed and I wanted to believe that it could still happen. So I refused to believe that fall was approaching, but now there's really no way around it anymore. It's September 22nd and I'll have to live with the fact that my summer is over. And it's kind of funny I'm saying that, because I never really liked summer to begin with. It's only this year that I was getting excited for it. I like to bring whatever is left of my eyeshadow primer on my nose. This is a trick I saw Michaela do on TikTok. She mixes it with another primer, but I just take a creamy eyeshadow primer and put it on my nose, because this is where my foundation fades very easily. So now let me zoom you in and let's get started on the eyes. I think this is close enough. I'm going to start with this small fluffy brush from Essence. This is the eye blender brush. And I'm going into the most pumpkin shades of pumpkin shades, which is this one over here. This beautiful orange. When these palettes released, I don't know if you remember, it was in April I think. Huda released 3 of these Obsessions palettes. I have 2 of them. The toffee and the caramel. And there's also a chocolate. And everyone was saying that they would have been so much more appropriate for fall, and they would bust them out whenever fall would arrive. So now's the time, people. Grab your palette. I personally don't really care about seasonal makeup, but I do like to change it up a little bit, so whenever I have the chance to do something themed, I will. But I wouldn't be opposed to wearing a look like this in the spring. I'm using the same brush with a little bit less on it to blend out the edges. Before going into this shade over here, this sort of orangey yellow. And I will use that one to blend it out even more. Now I'm going into the brown matte and I'm going to put that a little bit lower in the crease. Maybe this is the sort of thing, like seasonal trends, looking forward to certain seasons, that comes with age. In the past I've always been so preoccupied with whatever I was doing that I really didn't have the time to think about the fact that the seasons were changing. But now that I am old and maybe wise, I can enjoy it a little bit more. I don't know, maybe I am just getting really old. My boyfriend always jokes that I am 83. And I know 83-year-old people like to talk about seasonal changes. So I guess he's right. I'm also going to put that brown shade underneath my lower lash line. I'm just using the same brush. I'm going to wipe underneath my eyes anyway. I'm also putting this in the outer corner and in the inner corner. I really like these shades. I haven't used this palette all that much. I really use my Toffee palette the most because it matches my yellow clothing so well. But I really like this one too. So now I'm going to take my finger and I'm going into the dark brown shade. This is almost an eggplant brown. Well, it's not really, but it is pretty cool toned, I think. And I don't think I used this one all over the lid before. So that's what I'm going to do. Try and blend it into the other shade. It's not really precise, but I think it'll do. I'll blend that out more in a little bit. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. It's a complete mess, but like I said, I will clean that up. I'm going back with my fluffy brush and the brown shade, and I'm just going to blend out what I just applied. I think I should have used a brush, but oh well. I like this. I really like a brown smoky eye for some reason. I never used to, but now I'm all over it. And I am also going into that lightest shade, this one, to blend out the edges again. And now I feel like there's a little bit disbalance between the two sides. So I'm taking this flat shader brush and I'm going into that darkest shade. And I'm also going to put it near the lower lash line, underneath the eye. Yeah, that's a lot more balanced. I feel like this shade isn't as shiny as I thought it was. It almost acts as a demi-matte. And I'm cleaning up the brush and I'm going into the brown matte. And I'm going to blend out that black. And I see that this inner corner isn't really blended. This is looking quite chaotic. I'm just going to take my wipe and make it all better. I don't want this lower lash line to go too low. That's a lot prettier, right? Oh, except for this. I did wipe away a little bit too much over here. I'm just going to fix that. And finally I'm taking a small little pencil brush and I'm going into the middle shade, which is this gold. And I'm going to put that in the inner corner. I am actually going to spread it out a little bit further. So like underneath my lower lash line. And a little bit in this area that Ellie Glines likes to call the scoopity boobity. I think that's really flattering. And that's it for the eyeshadows. I do really like this. I did a similar look with the Jackie Aina palette earlier this week. To finish up the look, I'm taking my Copper Charge eyeshadow of eye pencil by Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm just putting that on the waterline and I'm tight lining with it. And then I'm going in with a brown mascara. This one is from Atos. And it is a little bit old, so we'll see if it still works. I'm not even sure if I like this more than a black mascara. The eyes are very dark. I feel like, yeah, no, it looks kind of cool. I thought my lashes were disappearing doing this, but... Alright, that's it for the eyes, they're all done. I'll zoom you out a little bit and then we can get to the face. I'm going to put on my ears. Yes, that's cute. Because it's still early in the fall, I want to keep the skin sort of light and summery. Then we have this nice juxtaposition of the two elements. So therefore I'm going in with my Huda Glowish Skin Tint. I have mine in the shade Fair. I've really enjoyed using this all summer and I don't feel like stopping with using it yet. This is a beautiful skin tint because it gives sort of medium coverage, but in a very natural and glowy way. The shades run a little bit dark, but I can still make the lightest one work. See how nice and even that looks? I just need a little bit more. I am going to use a little bit of concealer, even though I feel like with this skin tint it isn't even completely necessary to do so. I'm just going to use a little bit underneath my eyes. And I am going to use my Catrice Liquid Camouflage. I'm still trying to make up my mind about this one. I don't think I love it. It's supposed to be very high coverage, but I don't feel like it is. But it is very thin and the color is alright. And I don't feel like it creases a lot, so maybe I should be a little bit more positive about it. See, that does look kind of pretty, right? I am going to powder a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't really have any full toned liquid products yet. I mainly have like pinkish tones. So I'm going to stick with powder products for today. But it is on my wish list to pick up the next time I'm picking up like a liquid blush or something. Oh, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder, the matte and poreless. I have the shade 105. And I'm going to mainly set my concealer because I don't want to use the glow from the Glowish Skin Tint. I must say, this concealer with this powder is looking amazing. I guess I never realized before how thin that concealer is. It is a little bit more tricky to blend out. I found maybe I need a sponge to do that. I'm also going to take a little bit of powder right here between my brows. That's perfect. For bronzer, I am going to go into my Ghost palette from Hourglass. Did you see that Hourglass has released their new holiday palettes? I'm really excited for it. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick it up because, well, it is $80 and usually it's 90 euros. So that's a little bit expensive. But there is this this new finishing powder in there, the Infinity powder. And I always wanted to try that. And I think as a single that is about $50 or 50 euros. So this would be the ideal time to pick it up, and I think the other shades look very pretty too. And I do use my Ghost palette, which was from the holiday in 2019. I use that all the time. So I am thinking about it. If I have the money, I might go for it. I am going to blend this out, by the way, in a little bit. I know it's looking a little bit extreme at the moment. I'm also taking this on my nose. It does look a little bit heavier when you don't have a lot of powder on. So now I'm taking a big powder brush and I'm going into this shade, which I don't use a lot. This is the finishing powder in dim light. I usually use the white one, which is diffused light. But I feel like this one, the pinkish one, is perfect for blending out bronzer. Do you see the difference? Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. It's a little bit too dark for me to use underneath my eyes, so I don't really use that one. But this is perfect. I'm taking a mixture of the two to go over my nose. And just like that, I have a heavily bronzed but blended face. For blush, I picked out my Anastasia blush trio. The sticker is off of this one, so I don't know what the shade name is, but it's the orangey red trio. And I think I'm going into the orange shade. It has a little bit of sparkle in it. I would love to have an orange liquid blush or cream blush. But I do really like this one as well. Yes, that looks so perfect with this eye look. I love it. Then for highlight, I want to use my Dior Gold palette. This is the highlighting quad in number 3 Pure Gold. And I mainly like using this shade over here. But I have discovered that these powders are beautiful on the cheek and even on the nose. But they really shouldn't be used on the forehead, lips or chin. Because every time I do that, someone says I look really sweaty. And that's not what I want to achieve. Look at how beautiful that is. I don't know if you can see it. And since I used the glowish and the finishing powder from Hourglass, I feel like I don't need it all over. This is beautiful, I think. This is perfect with this look. I'm going to throw my Lancome powder to gel into my eyebrows. This is the quick product I use when I want a little bit more heavy brows. And that's what I want today. Just as quick as my Dior Pump and Brow, but a little bit heavier. And I'm going to run a little bit of my NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel as well. Just to comb out a little bit and to set my eyebrows. This is not the best eyebrow gel, but I own it, so I want to use it. We're almost done. All that we need now is a lip. And I want to use something orangey, I think. Well, I could use the brown. I feel like that would be nice, but like I said, I want to keep summer in for just a little bit longer. I do really like this one. This is the Chanel lipstick from last holiday. And it's this perfect medium brown shade. And I just can't help myself. I have to use this. Yes, this is perfect. I did use quite a bit of this last year, but I haven't used it all in the summer. It's in shade 107 or beige. I'm done. This is my finished look. As you can see, probably it's becoming a little bit dark, but I hope it still works. I really like this look. I'm really excited for fall makeup, I guess. I'm all the way converted? I'm a changed person. So if you like this video, again, please consider subscribing. I upload 3 videos a week with makeup related content and I would love to share it with you, and I will see you in the next one.